Mm-hmm. That's your. Are you going live right now?
Yeah, pretty much just kick it on for everything. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream. I am Antonia, and this is EverQuest 2. We are chilling.
And I'm really on the fence about going ogre.
Yeah, I did find a few things that I liked. One of the things was you had a short little defense upgrade that you could put on, because 5 defense is actually quite a lot, and then
Yeah.
having 10, like 5 on one and 5 on the other. Having 10 during a fight is nice.
You said that's on a ring.
No, it's nice. It's all it's on a that's a racial for the ogre.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and you can also put it on somebody else. So if you're not like the main tank or whatever, you can, or if you just want to, I don't know, keep somebody alive better. But I mean, it's not like a ward or anything.
Greetings.
Hello.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. The sex, the race, and well, I mean, just the person in general.
Southeast or Thunder Mist?
Thunder Mist. The person changed when I was in like Thundering Steps 3, and I came over to Thundering Steps 2. The Griffin Tamer person changed. It was a woman, and then I came over to here and it was a man. I didn't know that happened. Hello, fucking right here. Hop off right at the bend. We got a antelope jamboree here. Hell yeah, get 'em. Get 'em. Are you
Bullshit.
kidding me? Wait. No, we got it.
Yay!
Yeah, okay. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Alright, so now literally all we do is go over to Minty.
Minty Frostbeard.
Yeah. And we're going to... Oh, I thought that was her real name. I was like, really? Frostbeard? That's weird. Maybe she's a dwarf. But yeah, old Minty over here. Oh, it is Frostbeard.
And who might you be?
She's a dwarf. Alright.
Did you bring the materials? Well,
Alright. It's time to
Now
make
it's
it...
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours should be.
So here's a question for you: if you
Yes. Good.
create a new
work.
character and you made an ogre, how would it become a paladin?
You would make a Shadow Knight Ogre, and then you would betray at 10 or later. And you would go through the betrayal quest.
And then once that quest is complete, you automatically become a paladin.
Nope. You betray and you become neutral, and then you have to do more betrayal or you have to ingratiate yourself with the city you want, so you can go back to Freeport. But you Shadow Knights and Necros, Conjurers, and Paladins can only be their specific city. The other classes and stuff like that can be the other one at another city. So, but yeah, you do that quest line. I guess if you mean you're doing the entire quest line, yeah, that's how it works. From one to the other, but it's very involved. And it's 2 different quest lines to get from one side to the other.
Just buying a race change potion kind of takes the honor out of doing that.
Yeah. But you're also
People would think that you did all that, and you're like, no, I just paid, swiped my card and did it.
Yeah, but I've, yes and no. I mean, yeah, but it's the only reason you would be doing it is min-maxing. Everything else doesn't matter. You could restart a character, but it'd be a pain in the ass. It's already hard enough to level.
Oh, it's so hard. Yep. I can't imagine like doing it multiple times. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, this is my second main character. But my Guardian didn't even go to 50 yet. Which, though, once you get it to max, you get an experience bonus for each one that you have maxed. 20%, I believe. If it's still the same.
Your alts get that?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You gain for every character you have maxed, you gain 20% if it works like live. I don't have a 50, so
Does it cap? Does it cap at 100?
200.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you eventually your ults are really, really fast. So
It's like 10 levels in one Stormhold clear.
mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But like I said, that's live. I don't have a 50. Actually, we could ask General. There's going to be wolves in a second. Actually, let me get out my tank pet for this. Okay, never mind. You do not get that on this server. You do on live. So yeah, every character is going to be a fucking pain. We're saving the bear for the giant. Honestly, we should go get you, I think you only need like 1 or 2 more language things. We should get that and get you the start on this.
Yeah, and I'm 82% into 25 here.
Why? Oh, what the hell?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that was me, but why is it doing that? It should have... I need to find Tarby. This is Tarby. I wonder if maybe you talked to him or something, or I talked to him at a weird time. Oh, or are there more groups of wolves if we just wait? Alright. Why is this not working correctly? Oh, here we go. There's more. Okay, yeah. That's why. A dire wolf. That's the one. Multiple rounds. That makes sense, I guess.
Your pets. Think you got this still?
Yeah, just killed the dire wolf.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Oh, I desummoned him and resummoned him. There we go.
Right down to the wire.
Yeah. There we go. Apparently I just picked up a bear.
Put them in your pocket, your bear
Yeah,
pocket.
My bear pocket, yeah, that's where I store all my bears. Okay, so that makes sense. Multiple waves of bear or wolves, and then after the dire wolf, you're good. Fuck. Well, I'm gonna leave that one there. Keep running. Once we get to the other side of this, I'll summon him. Yep. Looks like that's gonna have to be now. Alright. The pet does not have this. So let's keep running. He'll die. That should be enough. There we go. Alright. There we go. Fucking hell, man. I can't see these.
Told you. They're camo.
Yeah. Alright, well, this one we can kill, no problem. I just didn't feel like killing it earlier. I get my scout version pretty soon. Maybe next level, actually. Igneous Adept is 34, Quicksand is 33, yeah, Area Outrider is 32. Yeah, Scout one does fucking crazy stuff. And then I can put the fire seed on him, and he's going to do quite a lot more. Okay. Two things. Drina the pirate we need to kill, but also just these in general. Opsid is on the other side of the hill. Probably just wait till he comes back. We can kill Drina on the way. Okay. And that Master Strike is fucking crazy. You see that large chunk of health he just dropped? That was one spell. That was the Master Strike. Shit's so good. It really, like, the tank version doesn't even come close. It gives you a little extra damage each hit. Has nothing on the strike. And the cool thing, I was worried about like which one was primary or whatever, but the Master Strikes, they if you cast one, it blanks out all the others. So the recharge on it is the same no matter which one you cast. Which is kind of annoying if you have multiple things that you want to cast it on, but it's nice. But that is not likely to happen.
Yeah, like how many zones have multiple of these things next to each other?
Yeah, right. Please stop hitting me. Okay, that one's down. Pat's gonna die. Let's run. Left, and then towards the end. We'll have to avoid the skeletons, but it's fine. Would have been okay, I just don't have any more power. Reset. No, he's not. He is. Now he's reset. Okay. Man, we got so many yesterday. What the hell? You know what we should do? We should go kill that the guys on the bridge. So we have multiple low-level ones that we can just kill at the same time. Nope, not gonna do that.
I like their drawings on those boulders. Hilarious. This is an elephant.
I still have spare to go 50 minutes. Oh yeah, let's go. Steel stiletto. All right. There we go. Giant ear, toe. I mean, neat.
You have the book for them?
I do. Do you not?
I don't. Is that from the Sage?
No. No, it's we can go get it. It's right over here. Well, I say right over here. It's on the other side of the street with the griffins and the gnolls.
Yeah, I always assume I don't know and I don't have it, whatever it is.
Okay. Sure. Can do. Let's see. Need to go back to talk to Tobias Vareldig in the Thundermist Village. Ah, yeah. I think there might be some upgrades on this guy, but it's a ton of quests. I need to finish a few before I talk to him.
Watcher here?
Yeah. Travel to the Valley of the Ancients to bless the armor? What the fuck is that? Oh, I know where that is. I bet that's in Deadview Pass. Or off of Deadview Pass.
Did you collect all these?
Not all of them yet, some of them. Oh shit, one
And
feather.
some of these items are awesome.
Yeah, they're not bad. There's also a pretty decent hidden quest after you do them all. There's another one, and it's a pretty decent item. I forget what it is. Giant named bird. I think he's for armor quest. Oh yeah, we should probably do that. Finish out the armor quest line. Watch out for the bird. He's coming down the coast. And there's undead on your right. We're gonna pass them and go this way. These may be aggro. So, get high on the wall. There you go. Another one. We can head right, actually, around him. Because what we are looking for is this right here. There's enemies, so be far away from it. There's also a quest here, but it's that first one there. Steelhoof incursion. Kill the steelhoofs, but this one here, you can actually get it from like right here. And you can just click that tab there. Then here. I don't know if you have this, but there's one. It's pretty good. Still Vanguard Curse.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Could be a neat thing to put on your wall. Ah, more mature antelopes. Nice.
Only when you don't need them.
Yeah. Would have been nice yesterday, but whatever.
Basically committed genocide yesterday against them.
Oh, I mean, we're murder hobos. That's pretty much it, you know? That's what we do. We're just like, hey, you should go kill a bunch of people. Okay. Like, that sounds like a great idea and not illegal at all. Of course, when the city's telling you to do it, I mean, that's fine. Because that's all the city tells you to do. Hey, you should totally... You're an adventurer, you should totally go out there and massively... Oh. Shit. Okay. Yeah, let's kill it, but like... 28 triple up is questionable. Do a AoE and finish that one? Yeah, there you go. Arcane Aegis is pretty good. I hit this thing. It's not
Isn't
gonna
it looking good?
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Let's go. Rooted it. Moving. Leaving the pet there. Honestly, probably for the best. We don't need to kill that because it's a quest mob. Or, yeah, I think it's for actually Watcher of the Fields. I think it's, oh, fucking hell, I got... I swear to God, that fucking... Okay, cool. They let me go. Like, super long range knockdown. Like, I don't get it. Don't add shit like that. I mean, I'm full sprint, way ahead of you, and then just like, one button, oh, I can knock you down from like super far away.
Global knockdown.
Yeah, right? What the fuck? Why don't I get that kind of skill? I will need a new pet. did like that my the statistics on my latest news video, shows a sharp increase of returning viewers. So, like, I got new viewers, which is great. But I'd like to have a good amount of people that are already subscribed come back and watch my videos every time. So, because before it was kind of even, you know. So now I'm actually getting, because the subscriber base is the ones that are going to be more loyal to the channel, watch every video and things like that. New people, maybe not. You know, new people who are good when you're trying to grow your brand. Ooh, hello. What goes in this rock? 54 silver quest glyphs message. I need to get done with some of these quests, because there's 2 quests, well, at least 2 quests now, probably 3 more, that I can't.
My Thundering Steps log is even bigger than my Antonica one was.
Yeah, I've managed to get Antonica under control and get it small. We got a giant. Got a second giant. Fuck. We might be okay. Focus the 26. And then we'll try to get all the damage you can out of it, and then we'll knock him, see if we can heal. Later, like when it's right at the end, I'm going to try to melee as well. That's good. Scholar's Insight is great. That's a power thing. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to kill this one. Go ahead and tank that for a second. I'm going to need to resummon this. Yeah, you've got the health to do that. Alright, when he dies, go ahead and use rescue. Alright, rescue. Okay, cool. Perfect. Alright, you're good. You're good. Awesome. And... Alright, so, whenever he steals it off of you is good. Perfect. Oh, there's one. Cool. How many more of those do you need? 2? Or 1 now?
Let's see. When it updates. 3 out of 5.
Oh, okay, so 2 more, yeah. Alright, well, as long as I get my power back, I should just be able to go back, kill this. Where did... What's her face go? Pirate girl. Did she wander off? She was just there. Or do I need to be like over here?
I saw them padding away southeast.
Okay.
They were walking.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, maybe they... Oh. Maybe they head off somewhere. Opposite. Okay. That actually is good, because that removes that quest, and then I can start the new one when I look at the axe, so it gives me an opening. No, those are gnolls. Not sure where the pirates are. I've only ever seen them right here. Watch out for that other one. 'Cause we definitely don't have that. It's a 27. Okay. There's an undead right here. Yeah, got that.
Maybe somebody killed them?
Or they despawned.
Oh, are they on a timer?
Don't know. Some of them are.
Chief has a quest.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants you to kill lots and lots of gnolls. You know, we probably have this fight between these four, but I don't know. Even with single ups, they're still kind of high. Hello everybody. I put the chat on the main window, so if anybody says anything, it'll show up on the live one now. So figured that'd be good, so I don't have to shit on the. Even though the intermission one's actually pretty neat, I like it. Okay. Let's go. Let's go do the other bridge, because it also has like a ton of low levels. Not this one. There's one around the corner. I'm gonna kill this guy though. Scholar's Insight. Increases disruption by 13.2. Inflicts magic damage on the target. Interesting. Thought that was something else. Alright, summoning another pet up. Really? Huh. I kind of want to just take General off, but I need it for like certain things. It's just
Somebody say something cringy?
oh man, they're all talking about political bullshit. It's very, and it's kind of not even like it's become about America, but it started as China is the world leader now, and American opinions don't matter, and then it's like I said something about life is just like a hallucination by chemicals in your brain, so nothing matters. Like we're all just vividly hallucinating right now.
Basically.
Yeah.
Either that or we're in a computer program.
That's true. I like the receiver model idea. Basically, like
I think I know where you're going with this.
yeah, like hallucinations actually just tune the receiver differently, and it's all happening at the same time. You're just picking it up differently. Just not a way of viewing the world you're used to seeing. But yeah, that was I read that in the book called Visionary by Graham Hancock. So he was talking about a study that had been done. But they had pretty much done DMT trials, and one of the only DMT trials that had been done. And because the book was pretty much his experience doing DMT and what he saw. But it was interesting how we got into the subject matter might change, but basically every hallucination. Hey Randall, what's going on? Every hallucination is relatively the same and follows the same hierarchy. It's just the interpretation is different of like how people understand it. Like the whole being taken up into the spaceship type thing.
Yeah.
That's shamanic journeys and stuff like that are like climbing Jacob's ladder, or climbing up ropes, or swimming up a like a waterfall or something like that. Throughout the years, they have different levels of understanding of how the technology works. So you have like ladders when ladders were around, ropes when ropes were around, when that was like the biggest technology, and then things like that. And then you get more technological. You have spaceships, and now, and it's just the way the brain translates what's happening.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really, really interesting stuff. I spent a lot of time in when I was in Afghanistan, or not Afghanistan, but Kuwait, just consuming literature as I, on the way to work and back. It was like 30 minutes a day, so I just put on an audiobook, and I was by myself many days, so I just put it on and chill. Sadly, I couldn't have it running at work, but between then and then during the evening. Probably after I get a little more established in the stream, I'll go back to reading a lot more.
Did you read Fingerprints of the Gods or any of his other books?
Oh yeah, I've read every one of his books.
Pretty eye-opening stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Makes complete sense too.
Yeah, and a lot of what's his name?
Randall Carlson.
I haven't actually read a whole lot of Randall's stuff. I need to, but I've seen some of his things on YouTube. But the Zachariah Sitchin, I meant.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, Book of Inky is fucking like it all makes sense. It just like everything just finally just comes together, and you're like, oh, literature, like religious texts are basically just people who have no idea what's going on, trying to make sense of it, and then you've got this, and it's like, yeah, this is exactly what happened. Like,
Yep.
With somebody like who understands the technology and like can understand it now. Like, this is exactly what happened. You're like, holy fuck.
It's all just interpretations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's interesting is that Graham Hancock's been doing this for fucking years. And then suddenly just everybody's like, hey, have you heard about Graham Hancock? And it's like, yeah, long time ago. Like, he's been at this for a long time. It's like suddenly just the internet exploded with his stuff. They were just ready to read it. So that
didn't help that he was being suppressed by mainstream archaeology either.
Yeah. Well, that's I've read quite a few other books that are talking about it, and basically, there we go. This one. One of the girls that she's got her doctorates and all that kind of stuff. She was talking to the guy who's in Africa doing all the things. Michael Tellinger. She was talking to Michael because she was like one of his biggest fans, and she got into archaeology because of him. And he was being suppressed as well and whatnot. And have you read any Michael Tellinger stuff or heard about him?
Nope. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the stuff about Africa is crazy, man. Like, so they had this one thing where they were trying to, or they basically like the ruins and stuff that they're saying, oh, this is like the ruins of like a little living area or whatever, but it's in the shape of like a magnetron that like that goes in a microwave and shit. And when they go in the middle of it, their GPS equipment and their, compasses and all that stuff just go fucking haywire. And they got a group to come out, and they were like, hey, can you do like a real geological survey on this, a company that does those. And they said, sure, we'll bring out our equipment and, do that. And then they couldn't get back to them for like a couple of months, and they just like, eventually, like, he just bugged them enough, and he's like, please give me the information. They're like, okay, look, we haven't got back to you because our equipment just didn't work in there, and we don't know why. And he's like, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Like that's exactly what I was hoping would happen, And it's like, they're like, oh, and it's like, no, yeah, that's. I didn't want to color your investigation, but I wanted to know what would happen, And they took your fine-tuned equipment in there, and it just went fucking nuts too. So yeah, I mean, it's such a like interesting thing. He's talking about the Mount of Adam or something like that or whatever, and basically it was all of these things about like processing and moving gold. And then when you read the stuff by Zachariah Sitchin, it all makes sense. Like it's like, oh yeah, he's on one part of like the the whole history, where they were down there working on the gold mines, and everything's just falling into place. It's, yes, we were, I mean, from what it looks like, we were created by a group of, near immortal or just long-lived aliens to mine gold because they had a rebellion. And and the whole reason like the Spaniards were accepted so well by the Native Americans when they got there is because Quetzalcoatl was a white man with a beard. He was Inky. Quetzalcoatl taught him everything. And all these things, all these giant buildings and stuff they're finding in South America. Have you heard about that? With the LiDAR scans and stuff, and then as the
I've heard about the ones like in the Amazon.
Yeah,
where it's like a whole cityscape basically under the jungle.
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, and Terra Preta. Have you heard about Terra Preta?
No.
Okay, so basically they're so all these farmers and stuff they're clearing away the jungle or whatever to try and they're like, oh well, if we get rid of the trees and stuff, we can just use that land for for growing things. And it's terrible. It's awful for growing. Even though it had the rainforest on it before, what they found out is that the reason the rainforest works so well is the Terra Preta. And Terra Preta is the and Graham Hancock talked about this on Joe Rogan, but the Terra Preta is a specialized topsoil that's made up of honestly, we don't even know what it's. There you go, perfect. We don't even know what it's made of. Oh, there's Stiletto. Let's go get him. Summon a new pet. Well, we can, I don't know, I can sell that to somebody.
Speak big boy now.
Yeah.
The Terra Preta is a soil?
Yeah, Terra Preta is a topsoil that was created by the South Americans, and we don't really know how to recreate it, but that's what the rainforests are. So the rainforests are actually man-made; they're not natural to the Earth.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and that's why they had like the ice cream fruit tree and stuff like that. They've really weird things that are only found in the rainforests
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, everything in there only exists in there.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet, even though I'm sure conditions are appropriate in other places.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're. It's just crazy, you know.
That's wild shit.
So this is the quest we will be undertaking, or the item that we will be doing it for. Increases your power when you hit, wards caster versus damage, strength by 27.
What quest is that called?
That's what we're about to go grab. We're gonna get Tarby for Obsid for you, what we did with the bear, and then he will. Oh, fucking hell. He will give you that thing to start the quest. And we need to mine 10 pristine granite pieces from Thundering Sets. So we'll have to go over to where the areas are. The areas are. Fucking out of my mind. Go over to the Griffins area. And mine. Not sure if that's from the ore or from the gem things, but yeah. This quest is called Axe from the Past. Yeah. Not very good for me, but it's damn good for you.
Little Tarby lost. That's it?
Yep. That's the one. And then we... other way. This way. Huh. Xenopar. Wonder if he had anything to do with the disappearance. Ah, hell. Of the, I don't know, maybe just the pirates despawned or wasn't looking and somebody killed them. I don't think there's really...
The thing I find most interesting is the fact that, like, all these ancient monuments and structures that they think mainstream archaeology thinks was built by those people was actually here much longer and built by somebody else, and they just inherited it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It all makes sense though, because of the way the Sphinx is, and there's modifications and the rain damage.
Book Binky talks about that. The Sphinx was modeled after an Anunnaki.
Yeah, didn't the Egyptians make the face of Pharaoh from what it used to be?
Yeah. So the yeah, pretty much it was a lion that was for the age of the Leo.
Yep.
And then yeah, and the pharaohs made it into the Egyptians made it into a pharaoh. Fucking hell, there's giants everywhere.
Was it a full lion, or did it have like an Anunnaki head on it? Or are the Anunnaki lions?
They are not lions. They're just human. They're like humans. They're just live a
They're
lot
bigger,
longer.
right?
No, those are the Nephilim.
Okay, I get the two confused.
So the Nephilim were the result of the Ajiji who were on Mars. They came down and they started because it was kind of taboo for anybody for like any of the other races to have relations with humans because they created us or whatever. Or any of the lesser races and stuff, and probably that way because it messes up the line, and there's just you create they probably happened before, and they created like monsters and shit, because they have, and that may have been what happened where the Ajiji came from to begin with. But they got, you know, they did their thing, you know, and then the Ajiji got mad and came down, because the Ajiji were also the ones mining all the gold, and they got pissed too, and they created...
Are they mining it here or on Mars?
On here, and they also had them on Mars to run the... So the reason they were on Mars was to it had a lighter atmosphere, and they, you know, less gravity, so they were able to take off easier. So they could transport things at very short ranges, and then, you know, to Mars, you know, with their technology, and then they could more easily load it onto the main ship, and then take it, you know, when Nirbu came by. So they would do all that, and then they would but I'm not 100% sure what happened on Mars. I do know that pretty much the reason that the Ajiji came down to Earth eventually was because basically after the flood, it messed up Nirbu again, and it also messed up Earth a lot, but it also completely made Mars unlivable. So that's
because of the flood here.
Yeah. Right, 12,800 years ago, the deluge, the end of the Ice Age, Younger Dryas.
Younger Dryas impact.
Yeah. Well,
so that
impact
hit Mars too.
No. So maybe impact, maybe Nirbu passing by. That's what the Nirbu passing by is what the that is what the Book of Enki talks about. It does not. But the thing is that also Marduk, aka Nirbu, who Marduk was Enki's son, but he took over the world and kind of enslaved everybody eventually after. It's so in depth. Like, there's so many things to talk about. Okay.
I know. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
I know some things, but
yeah, I spent a long time looking at it. Like, it's Babylon. Babylon, also the Tower of Babel, also Sodom and Gomorrah, all of that stuff. They were destroyed by the Anunnaki because Marduk was taking over and getting too strong. Tower of Babel was actually their spaceships they called the Shem, which is also the word for like house, right? Oh, Griffin. It's the word for house because what they did when they got here, they took the living capsules out of their ships and they used them as, you know, living arrangements or whatever. So Shem became known as house, and it was just like, I'm living in my ship, you know, but it was, or the living part of my ship. So they were, Shem became ship, and then, so in ancient Sumerian, it's called a Shem, you know, and like in Gilgamesh and whatnot. And they actually found Gilgamesh's tomb when the Jordan River dried up. Let's see, is it this one? Yes. Yeah, this is the one. So we need, you can finish that one. I'll go check and see if we find any more. This is not looking promising, though. This looks like either somebody
have that quest.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Tarby. We gotta go to Tarby first. Yeah, little Tarby lost, and then go turn it in. That's what we were doing. Also, we probably want to switch because it looks like this is basically all high plains shrubberies and arbors. Because what happens, and you know, like the dens and stuff, what happens is people come around and they only harvest the stone, and every node can be anything, any one of the nodes. So the things that people don't harvest much, like bushes, sticks, and dens, become the majority of what you see. So then you have to go through and clear out all of those to get like a normal set of spawns again. So, you know, because people only, and then they kind of screws themselves over, because when they gather that stuff, it then becomes, you know, that becomes the only thing that they see is just the rest of it, you know, because they're not gathering it. So if you want the best outcome, go around, grab all the rocks, and then start harvesting everything else while the rocks come back, and then you will make better. You'll have a better outcome because you'll have more things spawning after that. Yeah, talk to Tarby. Don't call him a dumb bear. There we go. So, oh, that's interesting. They grayed out for me. Anyway, so they're this will happen, and then a second group will happen, probably a third group will happen, or maybe just two.
So, biggest question I have is where did everybody go? Did they die off? Did they leave us here?
So one of the biggest
Are they still here?
Probably, or not. So here's the problem. Inky and Enlil and Ninnersog. Those were like they're all related, like half siblings. And don't talk to the bear again, just wait. They were getting old. They were older than their parents because something about Earth and the way Earth works, it makes...
I did not talk to him.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Save him from the bear, though. Or save the bear from the... Yeah. Yeah. We'll have three rounds of enemies. We just need to kill them all and keep the bear alive. It's just if you talk to him again and say the stuff, it'll start it over again. Yeah, they were getting rather old, right? They were older than their parents when their parents came down, or they were degrading much faster, you know, because age is kind of a construct. Their bodies were degrading much faster, and that's one of the reasons we have such a short lifespan. And also there was something where we were, part of the stuff we modified our age. And I think that was actually more to stop Marduk than it was against us. But yeah, basically Enlil never liked us. He never wanted, he thought Inky was playing God, creating us. By the way, Inky's God.
He's the first thing?
He is not. So so here's the thing. He is the one that created. If you want to know about the creator of humanity, Inky is the creator of humanity. Inky and Ninnersog. Ninnersog actually put the human DNA in her womb and became the first mother, and she's the mother of Adam. Or Adamu, actually, not even Adam. Okay, so you should be able to talk to Tarby now and then pick him up.
Got him.
Yep. So, the problem is that they kept having male children. They kept having... so they got a whole bunch of like 7 Anunnaki females, and then they were having more babies and stuff. And then they kept having males, so they put Adamu, the original Adamu, under. And then they took half of his DNA, part of him, his side, probably took a rib, honestly.
The rib, right? 'Cause that's what the Bible says.
Yeah, but what it means is they took a piece of his DNA that he would not be missing and would not hurt him, so they took a piece of rib out, and they
Made humans.
Yes.
Hybrids, basically.
Yeah, so basically, because women are XX chromosome, they took part of him, half of him, a side of him, which is what all the things say. We gotta go talk to Opsid over here. A part of him, which also physically means physical, like his rib, and half of his DNA, and they doubled it and made a female. So that was the whole thing, and it's here's the pirates. But it obviously, the stories, original stories, they don't know anything about DNA splicing. We do. We understand that, but they don't. Like the people who were, the original, humans back at that point, they wouldn't understand that.
Oh, they'll just say they took his rib and made somebody out of it.
Yeah, and then made him a friend or whatever. Yeah. So they and that happens all the time. Like it's like Adam or Cain and Abel. Cain was not. They were not the children of Adam and Eve. They weren't even from. They weren't even from the line of Adam and Eve. Cain and Abel appeared when Enki basically, when they had a bunch of humans and stuff, and Enki saw two girls chilling by the lake, and was hanging out with the buddy, and was like, "I'm gonna go fuck one of them," and like had sex with both of them, and then they had
He did?
Yeah, and then they had Cain and Abel. And the thing about Cain and Abel that was interesting is that they could learn a lot more than normal humans. They were a lot smarter than normal humans. They could learn agriculture and things like that. Taught them. Come on, summon a new pet. There we go. Yeah, they could learn new skills. So they taught them agriculture and like husbandry and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they were basically sons of gods.
Yeah.
Of a god.
Well, it was weird because they had already had humans for a while that were children of the gods, already. But these two were special because they could just learn really quickly. So kind of like how we can now, They were more than just primitive workers, So they taught them all these things, and the problem was that Cain, Marduk taught Cain, or Marduk taught Adam, and then I forget the name of the other one, but he was like a pilot or whatever. It was one of Enki's kids as well, like Marduk, like half kids or whatever. He taught Cain, whereas Marduk taught Abel. So Abel, so pretty much they were all super happy when they came back and they showed, the fruits of their labor. Watch out. That's banished. That's banished. That's the name. Yeah, run him off. That is the one that will attack you. Okay, he's off now. You good? Opposite's over here too. Watch out for the wolves though. There they go. They're running back to him. But yeah, so pretty much what it says in the Book of Enki is that they were, Enki and Marduk were super happy. So, and because Marduk is Enki's son, they got super happy, and then Enki hugged Marduk. And, they embraced, they were happy, whatnot, that it had worked. And the humans had learned stuff. And then, alright, so you can look at your stick now, and, or your thing in Acts from the Past, and get that one. And then we'll go find stuff. But yeah, so they did that, and they, they were super happy, and then what what Cain saw was, oh, God is he's really he's more showing affection to the teacher of Abel, so that must mean that he is more pleased with Abel than he is with me. He must be displeased with me because, you know, my teacher's not even here, kind of thing. So just didn't know what was going on, whatnot, and then so they so anyway, he gets mad, and then Nintersog has a vision that Cain's going to kill Abel, or something happens. So they go, they know it's going to happen. So they but it's like currently happening. So they run out there to find him, and then realize that he's already killed him. And you know, murder didn't quite happen very much. You know, the last murder that actually kind of happened was. Like, people died, but murder didn't really happen in the Anunnaki culture. The only time somebody had actually killed anybody was, like, Alalu had killed the previous king, but he became king later because he had a claim to the throne. And then he didn't have like, he didn't have any better results than the previous king. So Anu, who is during the events of all of this stuff, and probably still is, considering the time frame that all this happened, is the king of Nirbu, because, you know, he was not even close to being old when the deluge happened. In fact, Enlil and Enki were much older than him at that point, physically. And it got to the point where they were like, oh, well, we're not probably even going to be able to come back, because, and, you know, they had been on Earth, you know, and dealing with stuff for so long that they didn't even want to go back. But they kind of realized that they couldn't. So, after the deluge, after they kind of, like, figured out the gold problem again, after, you know, they had reseeded humans or whatever, because Enlil was going to just let all the humans die. He knew that the flood was going to happen when Nibiru came by, and he was like, cool, this is going to wipe them out, clean slate, we can all go home and everything's going to be fine. We don't have to worry about any of this mess. You know, it happened however it happened, it was fine. But also, the biggest problem that had happened were the Ajiji making the Nephilim. And that's why he just was like, I don't care, Nephilim, human, they're all the same, fucking wipe them all out, it's a problem. So he was just going to let them all die. Enlil was like, he had also recently had another kid with a human, but more intentional this time. He had Ziasudra. Ziasudra is Noah, or Utnapishtim, which is also the Noah from and Ziasudra from the book of Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is the Epic of Gilgamesh is where the flood. Let me know if you get an update for the Granite on that, if it's all rocks or whatever. But yeah, the Epic of Gilgamesh is when Gilgamesh went to the land of the Shims, aka the you know, the fucking launch site of the rocket ships of the Anunnaki, because he was part at that point he was part Anunnaki, so they, you know, they had the ability to go find the Shims and stuff, and request or find the rocket ships or the land of the gods, and then try to become, you know, gods themselves and eat of the fruit of life and all that stuff. Which they said the fruit of life was basically like a date palm, but it's like spiky and grew underwater.
Mimic.
Okay.
And he found one of those, and he brought it, but away. But I guess we have to just use the windswept stones. I don't think it actually comes from the ore. But he found one of those stones, or one of those plants, because Utnapishtim showed him what it was, and how to get one. And he got that, and he was going to steal it and take it back and grow it and whatnot and be immortal. And then on his way back, he fell asleep, and a snake ate it. And and made off with it. Now, the snake was also like had a lot to do. So pretty much, okay. This goes really far back. So the Alalu took over from the previous king and became king. Nirbu had a problem with their atmosphere because they went so far away from the sun on their rotations. They had a volcanic atmosphere that blocked in, made like this huge greenhouse effect, right? So the volcanoes stopped making as much smoke that was allowing them to stay alive. So the volcanoes stopped doing that. So they were figuring out that their world was in trouble. So that's why they needed the gold. They figured out that there was a gold to stop the greenhouse stuff.
How would the gold stop that?
Reflective particles in
Mimic.
in the atmosphere will create an artificial greenhouse effect.
So they would just shoot a bunch of like small gold particles up into the sky?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. However, they're like an aerosol or something like that.
So they were mining gold here to send back there.
Yes, because gold was actually, it would be perfect, but it was really rare. Now the thing is that Alalu, because he was king, he knew about the old stories. So Zachariah Sitchin has an old story that he uncovered, and it's about Tiamat and the dragon Tiamat and the Marduk destroying the dragon and stuff like that. And basically, the story goes, there was the main god, and the god, him and his wife Tiamat had a bunch of children, and they had different things, and then they had little little bunch of little stories about their gods or whatever, and then eventually the kids were making too much noise and they got mad, and then basically the god wanted them all dead. So they realized that the god was wanting them all dead, and then they got together and then found a savior, and that was one of the kids, Marduk. So Marduk was going to be the savior of them all, and he went around to the other gods and got little things like the four winds or whatever he got from one of the other ones, and different things that he went to fight Tiamat with, the dragon. Or actually, he beat the god first, and then they put him to sleep, or whatever, killed him. And the Tiamat was pissed off. So Tiamat turned into a dragon, and Marduk went out to fight her, and then mortally wounded her once, and then came back the next time and split her in half. And what Zachariah Sitchin realized is that this was just the story of the planet's formation. So, like, the sun was the god; it was the center one, and then all the other planets were the children, and then their little, kids and special things and viziers and all that stuff. Those in the story are all the those are the moons and things like that, and whatnot, of all the planets. And then like Gaga, which is one of the I think it was one of the moons of Jupiter or whatever, and then when it came by it got tossed out or whatever. But also, pretty much the idea is that the four winds that he picked up, that Marduk picked up to go fight Tiamat, Tiamat was a water world past Mars, Oh, Zale the Smooth Mate. I need to kill him. You want to come over here and help me with this?
Yep.
Okay. So Tiamat was broken in half, and or it was mortally damaged on the first one, and it was broken in half by the second one. So the idea is that that was part of Earth. The part that stayed together was Earth, and then another large chunk of that was the Moon. And then
What was it called before?
Tiamat.
Tiamat was Earth and the Moon combined?
And a bunch of other stuff. Like, so the Van Allen belt is the other half of Tiamat that smashed to bits.
Tiamat was the dragon.
Yeah, Tiamat was the dragon. So the
She was just in space?
yeah, it was a water world. It was a large water world planet that was outside of, that was on the other side of Mars. And the thing is that the orbit of Nirabu is comes in and goes around the other side of Mars, and then heads back out behind the sun. It's kind of like an elliptical orbit, and then it's got a weird thing with all the other planets. And sometimes,
Do you think or you know or you believe it's real?
what, Nirabu?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been plenty of discussions about that, like actual scientific discussions where they talk about the wobble of Jupiter and stuff like that is weird. So like there has to be something else out there large that's creating that the effect. So Planet X, Planet 9, Planet whatever, those all came from science, like actual scientists talking about it. And then, you know, they one of the problems is that we actually have a part of the CIA that their entire job is to, when people get too close to the truth of like government projects, they will go in and they will release a lot of information, and then they'll throw in like, and then unicorns and shit, just to throw everybody off, so that like you give enough of the truth to make it sound real, and then you make it ridiculous. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, whatever, all of that is fake, never mind. So it completely throws everybody off. Like, that's their whole deal. That's their whole, and there's also a, like, that group that just came out recently that was talking about, UFOs and stuff. That's been around for a long time. Their entire job was to, basically, they created those two sections at the same time. They had the misinformation section, and then they had the to counteract anything while they were doing their stuff and like throw people off of secret projects. But also they realized, oh, there's a lot of shit, like there's a lot of things we can't account for that aren't ours. So we need a whole, you know, government organization that actually looks into these. And they have like Freedom of Information Act. A lot of these things say, yeah, there's this many things, and these were other countries' projects, and these are ours, and here's all the things that we have no idea about. And it's a big list. So here's all the UFOs we've ever seen. Here's the list of the stuff that's ours. Here's the list of the stuff that we know that the other countries are working on. And yeah, so there's.
When are we due for a Nibiru passing?
That's the thing. Okay.
It's been about what 13,000 years since the last passing, right?
Yeah. So 3,600 years is the orbit of Nirabu. The issue is that I'm not sure if the passing, some things say like 200 years, some things say like now, you know, some things say it's already. I did the math myself. And it was pretty much it had already passed, and it's on its way out. But I don't know if I got the numbers right, because
But isn't something bad supposed to happen when it passes?
Not every time, no. Because okay, so like because it comes by Mars, you know, every now and then it would have a problem, but many times it would come by and not do anything. So that's the deal.
And it's massive.
Yeah, it's pretty big. The thing is that because it comes, there are stories about like giant, like the people would see a giant planet or whatever, and then, but okay, so the last time it came, the problem is like the information we have from the last time, it created like a nuclear winter, so there's a lot of stories about when the moon came back, and people say, oh, that's because the moon is, you know, it was created by aliens and it wasn't there. It was always there. It's been there since the beginning. It was just, we had a nuclear winter and there were cloud cover, you know, where the sun went away too, for, you know, and nobody could see anything, and eventually that cleared up enough that the nuclear winter stopped happening. So with the Ice Age, the second Ice Age went away, because there were two Ice Ages, the Younger Dryas and the Older Dryas and the Younger Dryas. They both happened at the same time. Or they both happened relatively close to each other. And pretty much it was an Ice Age, and then it went away, and then it was suddenly an Ice Age again. So pretty much what I think happened is we had an Ice Age that happened, and then we had massive damage from Nirabu during that passing that flooded the Earth. And then because of the cloud cover and stuff like, and there's the thing that supports the Younger Dryas impact is that the fine line of like iridium that's all around the world in the geological stratum. Because iridium pretty much only comes from asteroids. So, a big asteroid hit, probably something brought on by Nirabu, like something it had picked up and it ran into the Earth. I also had heard things like basically at some point the Anunnaki came down and they're like, hey, sorry for everything that happened. Like, that, you know, we only get a little bit of contact with what goes on in this world, and you know, it's been, you know, 3,600 years since the last time we got here, and damn, shit got fucked up, you know. Like, so they came down and they were like, yeah, sorry about that. It's our people kind of screwed that up.
Mm-hmm.
And but the issue was like Marduk was kind of the problem. Enki had told him that basically Enki was really big into astrology, and that was one of the first things he did when he got here, was like work out the, you know, where the stars were based on this planet and astrology and stuff for this planet. So tons of that kind of stuff. It's, I don't know, man, it's, I would say read the books.
Why can't we see Nibiru?
It's too far away. Have you tried to see things in space?
I have a telescope.
Yeah, Jupiter's relatively stable in our orbit, and it's a tiny little thing.
Does Nibiru go past Jupiter?
No, it doesn't go out that far.
Why? But it's bigger than Jupiter, right?
That I don't know. I don't think
If
so.
we can see Jupiter.
Jupiter's really, really big. So pretty much, unless it gets really near Earth, because it's like a weird wobble kind of orbit. Sometimes it comes close, sometimes it goes far away, and it only really shows up on a very short, because it's like an oval type orbit. It's behind the sun the entire time, and then it just really quickly comes around and then past Mars and then back out, and then it's behind the sun the whole rest of the time.
And nobody's observed it?
Well, the last time it got here, it destroyed the entire world. So yeah,
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah.
plenty of people have seen it, but you know, it's anybody who knew anything. Because like right now, if there was a flood right now, who would survive? The tribes out in the middle of nowhere that, you know, haven't made any contact with the rest of humanity, and you know, as long as they survive the initial problem, then they're probably good. every now and then there's going to be little groups that survive that knew what was going on, but most of them not. Now, the low intelligence groups that are really good at survival are going to be the ones that survive and carry on the knowledge. So that's the problem. That's what happened last time too. You had a few groups that knew stuff, and then everybody else turned into caveman. Or cavemen, because that's all they, that's what they had known before, and that's what they were still doing.
Is Nibiru still populated?
I'm sure. They live a lot longer than we do. And it wasn't that much longer. Like, it's been 13,000 years, and one of their orbits, one of their years is the Shar, or the Shar, is 3,600 years. So, like, one of their years is 3,600 of ours. So, they live quite a long time. So, it's only been, you figure, 3 years for them since the destruction of Earth happened last time.
And the people from Mars, or the race from Mars, did they just integrate, or did they go somewhere else?
So that story. Okay, so the flood killed almost everybody. The Canaanites survived on their own. The Canaanites had been thrown out, but they were far enough away from the rest of everybody. But then there was a second thing where basically they had, when Marduk took over, they used there were like 7 weapons of mass destruction, and like super big, like way bigger than anything we put together, kind of thing. And that's what Alalu, some of those were what Alalu used to blast a hole through the Van Allen belt so that he could get here. Oh yeah. So Alalu knew about the gold here because of the old stories. So he took a ship after Anu had beat him in hand-to-hand combat and stuff, because he thought Anu was going to kill him because he had killed the last king, or like Alalu had killed the last king, but Anu wasn't going to. He was sticking to like how they usually do things, like just hand-to-hand combat, and then, I get to be king, because Anu was going to be king anyway, and then they were like, okay, well, Alalu says he's king, so it's like, alright, Alalu gets he gets the kingship, Anu gets after you're done, I get to be king, kind of thing. I get the lineage type thing, or my family gets to be king. Whoever's ready after you. So that was what they were doing, and then nothing changed. So eventually Anu went and took the kingship away from him. So anyway, Alalu left and got through he took one of their ships and got through, and then he found it, radioed back, and they were like, "Holy shit, you're still alive! What the hell?" So that was all good. And then, oh shit, I just got a dandelion fiber. Awesome. So, he did that. And then, so Inky came down, and it was supposed to be a real quick, he came down and, get the gold and come back kind of thing. And, but like, you're our only hope kind of thing. So, he came down, and they were trying to pull gold out of the water, but it wasn't really working really well. Inky had an interesting idea. How he got through the asteroid belt was he had a ship that ran on water. So he used the water to push the asteroids out of the way. And obviously if you shoot water out into space, it's going to freeze and become a giant ice comet, basically, if you shoot enough of it out. So, makes sense, you can shoot it out and make like ice missiles or whatever to shoot at the asteroids and move them out of the way. So he was doing that, but they got through, but they ran very short on water. So they stopped at Mars to begin with, checked it out, found out that it was a decent planet and there had water on it. Now that's the other part of the story, right? That's why nobody comes to Earth, is because the Van Allen belt is really a pain in the ass to get through. And unless you have a reason to be here, nobody's going to be here. So it's not that, like, that solves the Fermi paradox too. It's not that nobody's here or nobody's out there, or, you know, we're the only intelligent ones. It's just that Van Allen belt's a pain in the ass to get through. Like, you know, it's just a giant circle around our.
But don't things still get through though? Like, how do you explain all the visitations?
Oh yeah, I mean, things come through, but it's not as high I mean, so if you live in a rural town, right? People still come through. City people come through. Everything comes through. People come and visit. People come check it out. People come look if there's something to see. All that kind of stuff. You know, scientists come by and check out, you know, like ruins that are nearby. That kind of stuff. People still come out, but it's not. You don't have as many people. Yeah, it's not New York. You know, you don't have a lot of people in New York. We live out in the rural ass end, spiral arm of this galaxy. And we have the Valant, and even in our solar system, we have the Van Allen belt that kind of makes even our local star system kind of a bitch, you know. And it's all the way out in the middle of nowhere. So it just happened to be that Nerebu was a planet that was part of our, you know, star system. It just has a really long orbit, so. That's kind of where it goes. You know, that's why it's weird and why all this stuff is happening in weird ways.
And we don't know what happened to Mars?
And we know exactly what happened to Mars. Nerebu ripped the fucking atmosphere off of it when it came by.
Because it got that close?
Yeah, it just pulled the atmosphere right off.
Were there survivors?
Yeah, the Ajiji. They came to Earth.
Because they knew it was coming.
Yeah, they already. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much the Anunnaki, the Ajiji, and people from Nerebu or whatever. I guess people from Nerebu didn't really do it, but the Ajiji and the Anunnaki, they went up in their ships while all this was happening, and so they were in space, so they weren't really affected by any of the craziness.
Watching it happen.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So they were all crammed in their ships while this was all happening. Oh shit, got a Kerbali leather pelt. Yeah, and they were all really sad, you know, that they had, they had done this to the humans that they had created. They were really, you know, some of them were having theological debates while, you know, they were in there, because they had a lot of time to sit there and look. And so they were doing all that, and then and then Inky on his ship had told everybody like what he had done, so that the humans were set to. And actually, one of the Anunnaki stayed in the Ark. Oh, and the Ark was like a submarine too. It wasn't actually a ship. Oh, and there wasn't two of every animal. They had him and an Intersog had gotten together, and they got the seed of all of the animals, like the DNA from all the animals, and they gave it in a box to the Ark so that it would be saved. The only animals that they actually brought in were those were like just the animals that they needed to survive, you know, like food and, you know, milk.
Yeah, livestock.
Yeah, livestock. Yeah, basically. So they did bring a bunch of animals in there, but not two of every animal. It was kind of a mix between that story and the other one. Like they brought in the seed of all the animals, but they also visually brought in, you know, a bunch of animals. So I'm sure that, you know, where stories get told and get confused and stuff like that, especially if people don't have any idea what's going on, they just kind of know what they were told.
So after the flood, whose job was it to go around and distribute all the creatures where they needed to go?
So when they got back, they got word from when they got back down, they were all super happy, you know, or Enlil was super happy that you know, that everything was good and they were going to go home and everything was done. And then he saw that the humans had survived, and he's like, "What the fucking hell? I told you all not to tell any of the humans." And he was,
Hey, you were supposed to die.
yeah, all the humans were supposed to die. And Inky's like, he was, Enlil was going to kill them anyway because there were only a few left. And then Inky was like, whoa, this is actually my son. Don't do that. This is really my son. And then so he was like, okay. He was mad, but they also got word from Nirabu that basically, like, Nirabu was fucked, and all of the work that they had done getting the gold was not useful, and they needed lots more gold. So he's like, oh shit, well I guess it's fine that the humans survived, because now we can, and the reason that they knew exactly that the humans had survived is that was the designated spot. He had the arc headed to the spot that they were going to be at, because they already knew which part would survive, what land would be viable. And but yeah, he went there, and then yeah, they figured out later that the Cain Knights had survived on their own, without any divine help, or Anunnaki help. Not really divine. Because they're not gods, they're just long-lived beings. But, so here's the weird thing. Yahweh is not Anunnaki. Yahweh is something different. Yahweh is if we take them at their word, a being that is older from the beginning of the time, Alpha and Omega, the beginning, and will stay till the end. It's basically something that is actually immortal. Even the Anunnaki are children to it.
So that's like the real God?
So the Anunnaki believe in a creator.
Because somebody had to have made them.
Yeah, they don't believe, they didn't know who, they did not have a Yahweh that they, because the the pharaohs were linked to the Anunnaki. The pharaohs were originally like basically hybrids between Anunnaki and and they used them as the kingship or whatever. That's where the kings came from. So they had like divine right to rule, because the Anunnaki they were part Anunnaki, and the Anunnaki had given them permission, and would talk to them, and because the humans got so big that they needed intermediaries to deal with them, because they just couldn't, how do you run logistics for that many things? Things get lost. So that's where the kingship came from, and but they didn't know anything. The pharaohs did not know anything about Yahweh, and obviously Moses couldn't even speak really well. That's why he had his brother speak for him, because he didn't know words good. And that was one of his things. Like he was loyal. He just didn't know how to. He didn't know. Like, he wasn't very good at speaking to people. But his brother was, so his brother would do all the talking. He would just tell him what he needed to say, and his brother would say it eloquently. But the problem I have is that even if we take him at Yahweh at its word, why does it need people to worship it?
Oh no.
Yeah. So, I think it is also some being that is taking advantage of humans.
Well, my problem is that everything needs a creator, and you can't just have something made out of thin air.
Well, no.
Somebody made Anunnaki, then somebody had to have made the person that made the Anunnaki.
No, that's linear thinking.
How do you just create something from nothing?
You don't. Time's infinite. Everything is, there is no beginning, there is no end. There's only change, and
There had to have been a first, though, right?
nope. Think about it like
It
infinite.
hurts my brain.
Yeah, infinite time, infinite space, infinite time, infinite everything. Everything changes. There is no beginning, there is no end. It's just a circle. Because so like the Native Americans, you know how people, you know, when they say somebody's crazy, you put your finger up to your head and you make circles, right? The way the Native Americans say somebody is crazy is they put a line in front of their eye and they go side to side. They say, you know, they say people thinking straight lines are crazy. And Native Americans teach everything in circles, wheels on wheels and wheels and stuff. So what that means is, so cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. You have a kind of element that goes with those. You have like, I think it's fire in the east, air in the north, water in the south, and earth in the west, I believe. Which makes sense. Fire, you know, earth, sun rises in the east. You know, goes down in the west. Earth, air is up, water is down. So you've got that, and then and then you put another layer on it. You say, okay, fire is passion, air is knowledge, water is emotion, earth is like solidarity, strength, that kind of stuff. So now you've added emotions to the direction and the color and the colors. Yeah. So brown is earth, red is fire, you know, white or clear or whatever is air, and then like blue is water. So now you've got colors, you've got emotions, you've got wheels on wheels on wheels. It's a great way of teaching because then you start relating things to things and they make sense. You know, blue and water make sense together. And once you relate all of those things, and that's how you've learned, you then have relational knowledge of all things. So yeah, lots of that.
So everything's just kind of always been.
Yeah, so when I was, this epiphany that I had when I was in Iraq, I was doing a lot of meditation and I remembered a lot of interesting things, like what it feels like to be a kid. Like there's a feeling, I didn't even remember that there was a feeling, but there was a feeling. It's, I guess it's innocence. I don't really know. But I kind of got to the point where like I was exuding love all the time, and that's the only way I can just imagine. Like I could not. I was sad. I've sad time sometimes, but I was generally creating, like I was emitting energy all the time, and the energy is the same feeling as love. So that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I got done with mine. I'm able to make the granite tomahawk.
I'm at 3.
Yeah. So whenever you get done with those, we'll go back to town and make them. But yeah. So the. Yeah, and the epiphany that I had was that. So I was thinking, how do you reconcile a single life with an infinite lifespan, like the soul versus the physical body, or how do you reconcile basically infinity with finite? And I realized that the number line is kind of like the flat Earth thought process. It's when you see the horizon, it looks straight, so therefore the Earth is flat. But when you zoom out and you look at it at a larger viewpoint, it's circular. It's a sphere,
Yep.
So it's a limited view because we live so short lives. It's just a limited ability to see and perceive. So the time is infinite. Time doesn't matter, and you can actually, you can experience everything infinitely, but from the same center point. If you stand and that's another thing, the catalyst, the center, all that stuff. If you're in the center of the wheel, you are the catalyst, and that is the 9th point on the wheel. There's 8 points, cardinal, non-cardinal, and each of them have something to do with it. And then there's a 9th point in the center, and you stand in the center of each wheel, and you understand them and you know them, but you are the catalyst in the center, or something is the catalyst, and that has a relation to you as the mover and shaper of energy. And all of this is shamanism stuff.
Yep.
So there's another quest over here that's on a rock. Damn. All right. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Everything's always been, so you don't buy into like the universe expanding and then it'll contract and everything will just die.
Inhale and exhale of the universe. There's an inhale and an exhale of things.
But it doesn't like all like restart itself.
It could. It could be like the inhale and the exhale. Because that's also a big point in shamanism, the inhale and the exhale of energy and being and spirituality and things like that. The divine inhale, the divine exhale. You inhale things, and then you inhale good, exhale bad, kind of thing. Or not really that. Like you inhale the outside stuff, you process and clear and use it, and then you exhale things that are not needed. But also like the just like death is not bad, it's just change. The exhale is not bad, it's just the next step of energy. It's the change of the energy state, kind of thing.
Do we go somewhere else afterwards?
Well, the idea behind shamanism is that you have like 144 lives, which that may just be because of the the 12 and 12 and the numbers and things like that. And then you also have the Blue Star Prophecy by the Hopi that talks about the 144,000 that are taken and whatnot. It's basically revelations and whatnot as well. But you have all these lives, and you sit in the center, and basically the difference is that they're all happening at the exact same time. You're just experiencing them one at a time, because the soul is the anchor to this body. That everything else, all of the other lives are happening at the same time, because time is a construct of finite, a finite understanding of the universe. Everything's happening at the exact same time and not happening also. Because it's... I don't know.
So what is death and what happens after?
Death is just the release of your viewpoint on this body. But the entire point of existence, of your infinite existence, is to become enlightened. Each life could be the one that you become enlightened, and everything that you do in this life, you wrote down in your book of life to do. So if anything bad happens to you, it's your own damn fault, and learn from it. You know, the whole point is to learn. So that's.
So if you don't reach enlightenment, do you just start over?
I don't know. I don't know what happens if you don't do it in your 144 lives, but that's kind of the point. There, as above, so below. The idea is that there is you try to become more nice. You try to become more enlightened and more full of light and whatnot each step. Below us are less aware. Like, hell is not really... Well, hell doesn't exist, for one. Hell was not really created until the Catholic Church split. The lower levels of frequency of the spirit are just lower states of being. So pretty much, I guess if I had to take a guess of it, it's you get to this life, you have a certain amount of tries to get it right, and if you don't, you go back a grade, basically. You go back and then you try it again on a lower state, and if you're great on that, you come back up and then you do it all again. But
Yeah, but do you each iteration? Are you a baby and you go through it the whole life again, or do you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and there.
So everybody's on some kind of version.
Yeah, some.
We just don't know what version that is.
Yeah, and you and I could be the same person.
Really?
Yeah. Because time doesn't matter, and if we could be like that's what I think soulmates are. Basically, it's either two spirits that work together a lot to work on enlightenment, or like. But it's not always. You're not always a guy. I'm not always a guy. You might be a girl. You might be something else. I don't. I'm not sure if animals are kind of different in the whole 20 count. So I'm not sure if I think they are lower level life forms like plants and animals and things like that. They're kind of lower energy state things, but I don't know. They're just different. You know, they're just different levels of things. Like the so the 20 count is 0 to 9 law, and basically 9 being the like Jesus, enlightened master, Buddha kind of ascension, and then past that it's energy based. 0 is stone, and then you got plants, and then you got animals is 3, and then the thing is like they're not that they are. I mean, they work on different planes of existence or whatever, but like they have things to teach you. They're not. It's not that they're dumb or they're lesser than. They just have a different way of experiencing life, and they have things to teach you because we're all here to teach each other. We all. It's kind of like the chaos theory. We all exist to affect others. Because sometimes we're written into other people's stories to come in and either do good things or bad things in their life to modify their perception of existence
Or path.
yeah, path or whatever. So like if somebody comes in and kills your parents and become Batman, that had to happen for you to go along your Batman path. You know, and it's terrible, but that's the thing, you know, even bad things are not really bad, they're just there. Now, obviously, if you don't want to do those things, then you don't need to do those things. It's not like I'm saying go kill somebody's parents. Saying that if that is something that you end up, parts of your life drove you to do that kind of thing, So there's also one of the, like the golden rule or whatever of like shamanism, as above so below, but also the next one is nothing shall be done to harm the children. And the thing is, it's not like kids, it's like the children of Earth. Like basically don't
Humans.
Yeah, don't kill anybody. Don't kill any. Try not to kill anybody or do any. If you have to kill, honor the spirit. Make sure there's a reason that you need to kill them. Like so like if a deer, if you're really hungry and a deer shows up and is there, maybe the deer is old or something. So the deer can provide you with sustenance, but the deer may be suffering from like a, I don't know, a broken leg or something like that. It's still in good shape, but it's got a broken leg, and it doesn't, the chaos theory of the universe comes together, and you hunt the deer, then the spirit is released, and then you can eat the deer to finish your, go along with your life, and then the deer is then released to go do its other thing, and it all kind of works in harmony that way. But you need to understand how the universe works so that you're not just out here killing indiscriminately and kill when you need to kill, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
One over here, but it's got a couple blues next to it. 3 ups.
I'll distract him with a pet.
This is the third one in a row where it says I didn't find any quest items.
Yeah, I had a few like that.
Oh.
And then I got like 3 on the same one. So
7 out of 10.
there you go.
No steel yet.
Yeah, steel's up to like 6 gold, so I think they might have changed the drop rate, because I was getting like plenty. I was getting so much steel earlier.
And you're not getting them anymore either?
But I haven't super looked either. I do need 1 steel for an idol, but other than that, I'm not super worried about it. Phase steel's right around the corner for me, next level. So
Wonder if that's even just as rare as steel is here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, none of it really matters until you get to 42 and you're doing Ebon. Like, masters, gear, all of this, none of it matters until you get to 42. And then you can do Ebon plate, and then you can do, all of your skills from 40 to 50. Yeah, so none of it matters until then.
So would that be technically the best armor you can get outside of raids?
Yeah, Ebon plate is best in slot for tanks. For because of the mitigation and all the other stuff and all the stats and whatnot, for like the best in slot helmet for me is actually from the Book of Life, and it's like 32 or something like that. So it's actually in Ruins of Arsoon, and actually some of the best gear for me is actually in Ruins of Arsoon for quite a while. But the helmet gives you like, I don't know, a proc of like 30 intelligence, so you end up way higher than any intelligence that you're gonna get on anything else in the game. So
Are there best in slot listings out there? Like something I could reference to know like where some good pieces are for me?
I'm sure guilds have them.
Okay.
So there's a lot of information, right? And it's hoarded, because guilds want to take care of their own guys, but they want to be the first to do things. And there's a lot of there's not a lot of sharing going on with a lot of the raid guilds and stuff, and they mostly know all of this good information. Because,
That's crazy because this has been out since 2004.
yeah, just
5.
just means that there's more time to create animosity. So,
You go into Warcraft and you can find a guide, a best in slot list for every level of every expansion.
yeah, the problem is
It's all known.
Yeah, the problem is it never got the game never got to the level of Warcraft. So, like, there's a lot of people that just, there's way more people on Warcraft, and tons of people writing guides and doing content, making songs, all that kind of stuff. So, lots of that. And
Another distract over here, I think.
yeah, the matriarch's definitely in the way. Going in. Grab the griffin too. Pulling him back for a run.
Good. 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 Good.
Didn't find any.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all RNG. RNG just has to be on your side. But I like ancient history. It's kind of like video game lore, you know?
It 100% is.
Yeah. But it's ours, you know? It's our lore.
Now, could all this still be a simulation or no?
It could, yeah, absolutely. Even the Enlightenment is just different levels of learning. This could all be school. And we're, it's school with story. And you make your own, like, the book of life could be your, what you're going to learn in your classes. Story I got told one time, basically somebody 12 years old sitting on their bed saw a tear of light, moved around, tear stayed in the same spot in their eye no matter where they moved. So they kind of moved a certain way and it got bigger, so they realized what they did, and then they did it some more, and then got bigger and bigger and bigger until they sat up and they were like basically on this kind of motorcycle like seat deal, or like a more like a rocking horse kind of thing, handles, and then you and they said the weird thing was that they smelled through their hand holes, like the hands on the handles were generating the smell, and they said everything else was on a mustache piece, and the mustache piece had like a dimple kind of in the middle, like right where you would have it on your face. And and they remembered that who they were. They were like some immortal alien or whatever, and then they were at school and they were on a really long trip, and even though that they were immortal, engines could only do so much. So, and there wasn't really a big reason to, when you live forever, it doesn't really matter if, things go fast or not. So what they did was they were basically on public transportation or whatever. So on this transport, they were, the young alien races were going to school, and they would, they would do a lifetime in between lunch and dinner. So, or breakfast and lunch, so that's like 60 years was like the difference between breakfast and lunch.
Wow.
So they So they were like, okay, I got out once, I can get out again, right? So they put their hands back on the thing, smelled, you know, through the things. And, you know, there was a whole bunch of other people just like them around them. So they put their face back down on the view, you know, the view thing, and then when the for over their eyes, and when the thing touched their mustache, that's where they, like, all their senses went back into the world, and they were back in their body again. And they've never been able to get out since, you know, kind of thing. I've got Pet going for that. Okay, pulled them off. You're good. So, yeah, that's a story I heard as well from somebody I believe had that
I got
experience.
the last one.
Cool, awesome. Okay, well then let's outrun these guys, and then we'll teleport back. But yeah, so they so that's another option, you know, that all of this, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, and that's why it would be a simulation. You know, it's really just school, and it is a simulation. But the idea behind it is to, when you're an immortal being, how do you learn things, you know? How do you learn to experience life finitely, you know? You go to school and you have a fully immersive program that gives you lives that are finite, and you live those lives, and then when you come out, you're like, you remember them, and you're like, oh yeah, that, you know, okay, that's what that's like, let me go do another one. But also, Pitboy 3000, nice, I like that. But also, like, why suicide would be bad, you know, because you're breaking the program. Like, you're supposed to be doing school, and then if you kill yourself, you're not doing school very well. You're gonna fail that class if you, or that level, or whatever it is. Alright, I've got everything. I need dark brown coal, 1. Need a sparkling flower and severed ash.
Found it? Where did I put that ledger?
And the rest of the shit, so dark brown coal.
Repair the cracked stone axe at a forge.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have the recipe.
It's in your inventory, double click it.
Ah.
Yep, you should have everything, just dark brown coal. You need one sparkling thing and 1 piece of wood. And then it's at the forge. And then it's back out to Antonia to go talk to Obsid.
Hello there. Can I interest you in some of the finest merchandise this side of NORAD?
Back to Thundering Steps.
Mm-hmm. See if somebody will buy these orders from me. If not, keep him. If we see Stiletto again, we can kill him again. Get you a second set.
Talk to Ob said that I gotta get going.
Alright,
Tomorrow's Friday though.
cool.
I work a 9 to 5 basically.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I just left a job that I work 12 hours a day. Well, 13 hours a day. Because 30-minute drive each way. So, company car, that kind of stuff. Lived in company housing. So, yeah. It was not fun. And now I'm trying to do something different.
Hello.
You know, I'm not super busy. I work from home every day, but
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that's nice. Cap of Woven Whispers. Stormy Waffles. Better than what I got. Yeah, I could talk. I don't know, maybe not religious theology, but definitely ancient history. I could talk ancient history all night. Love that shit.
I do too.
It was kind of wild when I, was doing all the research, and I was like, oh shit, we are literally just robots that were created, like organic robots that were just created to mine gold. And I was like, what's the fucking purpose of life? And then, then I realized, and then I started doing more research and stuff to it, and and finished the books and stuff, and it was basically like, we were created, but it was more like the dichotomy of the universe kind of thing. Like how, or like, the kind of like I was saying with the how we affect other people's lives. Like basically they had that whole problem to come here, and then they created us, because the universe wanted to create us, but they did it with the Anunnaki, and then the Anunnaki made us, and then now we inherited the Earth. Now we have our own planet. Now we are another, thing.
Hello.
Southeast. We're actually another kind of, thing in the universe. So, the fact that we were created is not super the point. Or who created us. The fact that we should have been created, and the Anunnaki were used as a proxy for that, because we were already here in a sense. We were just much farther down in development. We were just catapulted and kind of modified in development. So, But but there is purpose. There is a reason, you know. And if it's all school anyway, it doesn't super matter, you know. That's just where we come from. That's not really the point of life. Best I can tell, the thing that's going to get you started, and basically all shamanism is a way to get you to meet your spirit guides, and then your spirit guides will help you figure out the rest. And they're already here. They just don't mess with your development or interfere with your development because it's not their job. Their job is to, their job is to guide you when you ask for help. And if you don't ask for help ever, then they're not going to guide you at all.
Yeah, how do you ask for help though?
You just ask. It's not going to show up in the way you think it is, but it'll. If you ask, it'll happen. So, like, if you're like, I want to know how to do better in my relationship, and then you find a relationship guidebook on the train. They didn't, or somebody talks to you. You meet somebody even more esoteric, like not even that, forward. You meet somebody on the train, and you get started talking, and then like some old lady or whatever, and some old lady just tells you stuff she knows about. You get on the conversation of like relationships, and then she gives you advice and stuff like that, and then that's the help you got. Or even more esoteric, you find you have friends and they have a really bad relationship, and that blows up, and you go, oh, okay, that's what not to do. Okay, I don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna take steps to change that, and that doesn't happen in my relationship. Things like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So, it may not be directly.
Yeah, it's all indirect.
Yeah, it's and sometimes they'll come to you in a vision and tell you, but or meet you in a dream and tell you or whatever. When I was in one of the biggest things, I didn't even realize that this was what was happening at the time. One of the biggest things that happened to me in cold dudes up in Iraq when I was meditating a lot and stuff like that is that one time I was in the tower or whatever, and then I kind of like nodded off or whatever, and a big group of people were walking by, and this older lady stopped, and she said, "Are you ready to meet us yet?" And I went, "What?" And then I woke up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, and then years later, I was reading a book, actually recently, a book about this guy who was going through and self-discovery on it was an older book, but it was new to me, and I read it, and self-discovery about
The Leto's over here.
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's kill him. Let's get another one.
I can't kill him.
Hold on, I'm coming. But the basically, he was saying that he had figured out how to meditate and do astral projection on his own, and he astrally projected and met his spirit guides there, and then, but he kind of always had felt that they were there in his projections. Like, he just felt this, like, huge amount of love and whatnot coming from there, but he just kind of didn't know what it meant or what it was. And then eventually, after he had done more and more astral projections, he figured out that, oh, these are, he talked to them, and they were spirit guides, and then he realized that you just have to ask for their help, and then it'll be fine, like they'll help you. And and also, like, when you're astrally projecting, there's moments when, let's pull this back so we don't get that giant. There's points where they'll only teach you so much, and then there's times when you need to learn more, and then they'll do that and whatnot. But lots of shit like that, Oh, here he is. All right, that's fine. I'll grab him. We'll just finish up Stiletto. But another thing is that he was, what really kind of brought that memory back was he was saying that when you get ready to astral project, there is a noise, and like it'll be like sometimes there's like a really big noise or whatever. And what I heard was, all right, go ahead and taunt it. Yeah. Get the pet back out. But yeah, like I had heard a noise, and I thought it was at one time, and I thought it was the sergeant on duty would come by, and he would when he came up the tower, he would like ring, or he would like hit the bars on the way up, and it would make this noise. And it would, wait, if you were sleeping, it would give you a chance to wake up before you got to the top. So if he didn't catch, if you were awake by the time you got to the top, he would, he would be like, okay, you're good, all that kind of stuff. He wanted to give you a chance, at least, to not catch you sleeping. So, there we go. There you go. Sure. I can't. Oh, you already have orders? Oh, you do have orders, don't you? Yep.
I guess I do.
I gave them to you. You haven't used them yet because you're not 28. Damn, that sucks.
I don't see them.
They might be in the bank. Lore is lore, no matter where they are. But yeah, oh well, whatever. Looting restrictions for stilettos cores were removed in 30 sections. All right. Well, if anybody's watching and they want to go pick those up, we're in Thundering Steps 1. You can go pick them up. But yeah, so they if I had remembered that you had him, we wouldn't have killed him. We would have just left him, called him out. But
100 skeletons to sharpen it. Holy shit, dude.
yeah, 100 skeletons, not that much. Here's one.
I'm gonna have to drop.
Yep. There's one.
Yay, one.
99 to go. Yeah, I think there's easier places to kill skeletons. I don't remember.
We
but
can mow them all down tomorrow. Like, it won't take that long.
Oh, yeah. We can just run down the ravine, get a... Oh, yeah, like a T.S. Skelly's group. We're all good.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so. But yeah, that was a neat experience that happened to me. So
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah, and I've been trying to lately. I've been trying to kind of like, I was like, okay, I kind of realized what had happened at that point. And I went, oh, okay, I need to start, getting back to that point of, Because even though I had been that level of enlightenment, I guess, at one point, it's use it or lose it, or keep it going or lose it kind of thing. You gotta keep at it, or else you won't. It'll fade, and your energy level will go back down. So I'm every now and then, working not as intensely as I was before, because I've got shit to do. But if I have more time, then I'm probably going to try to meditate more, and once everything starts getting taken care of financially, have a little bit of time.
Oh yeah. All right, dude. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get off my ass.
Sounds good.
All right, man.
See you, dude.
See ya. Alright, everybody, thanks for watching. I am Stark. This is EverQuest 2. I am going to, my tailbone still hurts, so I'm going to go do something else that doesn't require me to sit on my butt. And, yeah, maybe I'll be back a little while later, maybe not. So I'll see you. Peace. Adam and Eve, for real.